Where are they?
They're probably upstairs.
They never answered the door. Oh, wait. It's Monday night.
They're on the second floor.
Hey guys, what's up? We're back again on the second floor session. We're just coming to you today to tell you a little bit about some stories that we've got. We've got some really good stories for you guys. Some really good stories.
It's story time.
It is story time. We just want to,
There'll be personal stories,
yes.
stories about other people, just whatever we thought was pretty wild and crazy and maybe interesting. We're going to bring it up today. So
We thought you guys would enjoy some of these, but
like this much of like what we really know, but you know, some good ones. I've actually got some crazy ones about some people that I have met through the years that I've heard different things about. I'm going to talk about just things that are way out there.
Okay.
So.
Well, I'll start us off. One of my best memories, and it was at your house. If you can remember this, so we all had a big campfire at your house. You remember this? Mm-hmm. So we was all sitting around the campfire.
It's a big bonfire.
Big bonfire.
Big brush pile.
And we invited a ton of people from school over.
Yeah.
In his field, and we were sitting there. We were all boxing. We had boxing gloves on.
We were definitely.
I thought a few of us had already boxed, and then I can't remember if we did or not. Anyway, I had boxing gloves on. I was fixing to go up, and your brother comes up, and you had a dog, Sonia.
Big Great Pyrenees.
Pyrenees, yeah. Now I pushed that dog out. Just push it. I just pushed it out of the way. Your brother's what? 14 at this time.
Maybe
13, 14?
Maybe something like that.
13,
I don't
14.
remember.
And
we were probably just 16 or 17 then.
Yeah.
So.
And we go. Oh gosh, we out of nowhere, I get hit right in the sternum by Derek,
My brother.
And before I knew what had happened, it was just a reaction. If I had thought for a split second, I never would have hit him. But
You had boxing
I
gloves
did have
on,
boxing
so
gloves, but I mean, I hit him, and he just falls out in the floor. He falls out in the floor.
Yeah, you cold cocked him.
and it's just a reaction. Well, I'm 18. I'm older than most. You know, I was 18 years old. So, because you guys were 7,
How old are you?
I'm 36, like 37.
I'm 35, so he was 16 or 17 then. If you were 18, he would have been 15 turning 16, or he was 16 already.
Well, anyways, I was an adult.
Yeah.
And he was still a minor.
Yeah.
And that's all I could think about. So anyways, cold cock him. He hits the ground. He comes back to. He starts spitting on everybody. You remember that?
I don't remember
Starts
that.
spitting on everybody.
Matt says I can't remember anything.
Yeah,
so
no, yeah,
and
yeah.
I have lost some memory for some
But
reason.
so we get out through there, and he grabs all of our food, every bit of our food. We've got hamburger meat, we've got hot dogs, we've got chips, we've got anything you can think of for a good.
I remember that.
bonfire.
I forgot about that.
Well, I'm sure you would remember. You're the one that dove in the fire to get all their stuff.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? Oh my God!
No, I don't remember it.
So he grabs all of our food before we even know what happens, and he throws it. And we had a fire in a round pen, in the round pen where you would feed horses or feed cattle.
Yeah.
Big round pen, and we had a fire in there blazing. And he takes all of our food and just chunks it in there. And Bo goes running through there and tries to get everything out that he can get. I mean, at this point, you know, and you know, Derek's going crazy, and we're trying to calm him down. And I do remember that your mom and dad come out.
My dad.
Well, yeah, both of them. Okay, maybe your dad at first.
I don't know.
Whichever it was.
My dad's the one that drug him back in the house once I
Yeah,
got him.
Okay. Well, then they call the cops. You do not remember this. Are you serious?
Don't remember the cops being there.
Oh my gosh. How do you not remember that?
What did they call the cops
They
for?
hauled him away that night. Do you not remember that?
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did. I promise
They
you.
took him in the house.
No, they didn't.
I ran him down in the field. My dad come got him. He climbed out on the roof.
No.
Yeah.
Do you remember him dragging him through the field? Dragging him through the field,
Yes.
throwing cinder blocks at him?
Who was doing that?
Derek was throwing cinder blocks at your dad, and your dad had a belt.
Oh, yeah.
Had a belt.
I ran Derek down and I tackled him. And then I gave him to my dad. My dad was dragging him back to the
The
house.
cops come up there. Absolutely.
I don't remember him hauling him off.
Yes. And, well, okay, unless I'm getting two stories, that end of that story, but your brother got hauled off at some point from your house 100%.
I held him down one night while the cops took him to jail.
Well,
But you wasn't there.
I
know
wasn't there.
that.
I wasn't there. But they come up there.
Okay.
But
All right.
anyways,
I'm not arguing it didn't happen.
no,
I'll
but
tell you
any-
that right now.
No.
I don't doubt it a bit.
So,
I remember running him down.
and only thing I was worried about was going to jail. That's the only thing I was worried about because I hit him. I hit
okay.
that, and because that's all he was screaming was, "You hit a minor! You hit a minor!"
They were boxing with Sonya. I
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
that.
Oh, and yes, that's
I
of
remember
course.
that. I
Yes.
remember
But
that.
you hit a minor, you're going to jail, and I assumed that I was going to jail.
Yeah.
I mean, I figured I was. I didn't know. But like, after it all calmed down, and whether he went with them, I'm about positive they took him away. I could be wrong.
Do you remember him climbing out on the roof?
Before they got there? Yes.
Yeah, he came out on the roof, and my dad took him inside and made him go in the house.
Yes, I
And
remember
we
that.
were, there's 15 of us out there.
Yeah.
Remember, Brody had his Acura Integra parked in the field, and the goats
Goats was up on top
goats
of it.
got
Goats was on top of his Acura Integra. We were all just sitting around chilling. This was after that. This
Yeah.
was after it all calmed.
Yeah.
Everything calmed down.
Yeah.
And you hear this, scuffling around. We're like, what is that? And we go over there, and there's two goats, one on the hood and one on the top of the roof of the car.
Brody's chasing him off. He's pissed off. Yeah, I remember that.
But and then we had a pretty good night. And then when we went to sleep, do you remember what happened?
Not terror. Yeah, I remember that. That's crazy. So we had a buddy who used to have night terrors real bad, and I knew it. I knew that because he lived. I mean, I could throw a rock to his house. And Matt hadn't experienced it, neither had nobody else that was been over there.
Nobody had
I think
experienced it, yeah.
Cameron was there, Ben was there, Jordan was there.
There was a bunch of people.
There's a
there,
bunch
yeah.
of us there
was
that
a
had no idea of this, and in the middle of the night,
It was
He-
like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
jumps up like there's a grizzly bear after him, and nobody knows what's going on but me and Cody, and we take off running, trying to run him down. And normally that happens in a house where he's contained. He's outside. Who knows what's going to happen? Yeah, so we had to run him down.
Yeah.
That was
Well-
probably pretty wild for you guys.
Well, when we woke up, all I see is I thought it was two, but I guess it was 3 silhouettes. Matt being way out in the road, and 2 silhouettes behind him. I didn't know who. I just seen somebody chasing somebody, and I didn't know
And
what was
screaming.
going. Yeah, he was
Like
hollering,
bloody
like,
murder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought somebody else was fighting. I didn't know what was going on, and then y'all come back up there, and I reckon he just went home and went to bed. Did he not?
that might have happened. I can't remember.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
might have done that. I don't remember. We might have just left him up, chased him all the way home and left him there.
Oh, that was probably my last time I ever stayed at your house.
Yeah, I think it was.
Oh, that was wild.
Yeah, I forgot about a lot of that though. There's a lot of details there that I couldn't remember. Oh gosh, you got any more like that?
Oh, I've got a bunch more, yeah. Well, what about us? About going to jail that night. You remember that?
Let's hold. Speaking of jail, let's hold that, whatever that is, and let me tell you about a guy I know,
Okay.
or I knew, used to see a lot. So we had this guy who came and started working for us. He was a mechanic, or
Now, when was it? No,
previous mechanic.
Is this at your current?
No, not where I work now. Well,
Okay.
it's still the same business, different location.
Okay.
Different location.
Okay. Did I know this guy?
I don't think so. I don't think he wouldn't have worked with you. I know, but
I didn't know if he was in the company at the time.
no, he actually came to kind of do some light mechanical, mostly just change oil for us. But he had been for the last 30 years, well, in and out of jail and prison. And in that time, he had been a mechanic, so he was, I mean, he knew what he was doing, you know. But as we got to know him, he got to telling us stories, okay? And when I tell you, you know, I've watched homicide shows, First 48, whatever, stories about serial killers, you know, and all those things, like, you're like, wow, you know, that's crazy, you know, that you hear it. This guy's stories was like that in real life, like, you know, in your face. So he had
done it.
he's rough as, I mean, rough gets, but so he told us one time that he was dating some girl, and this was when he was young, but he was dating some girl, you know, like an adult age though. He was dating her, and it ended up not working out where he thought they should not be together. Well, she didn't think that, and she didn't think that. He goes to work one day. He comes home to his house, and he had a chow dog, and that thing's laying in the middle of his yard, motionless, whining though, but motionless. And he looks, and on the front door of his house, it says, "You're next, MFer," on the door.
Wow.
On the door, okay?
Golly.
Now, how does the dog relate to that? She had cut the dog's ears off and wrote it with the dog's blood. Yeah, now how satanic crazy is that?
Good God.
So he loved this dog, right? He goes around to every place all over Knox County in Knoxville trying to find her. And anywhere else, I guess she might be.
Why would you want to find her?
Because he's going to kill her. Pistol in his pocket. Now,
gosh.
he went to jail for attempted murder, or prison. So,
He's scared to go back.
No.
He's
No.
scared to go
Well,
back.
no, he hadn't went yet. So I'm saying,
okay,
he would have
really,
killed,
okay.
at that time he hadn't been. But
Okay.
he'd have killed that girl. I know he would have. He said he looked everywhere she could possibly be in, pistol in his pocket, going to shoot her and kill
Well, what
her.
happened to his dog?
He couldn't find her. Well, he shot it before he left, went looking for her.
Good gracious.
How crazy is that?
God.
So that's one of a whole lot of stories, and I ain't gonna tell all the stories this guy's got. But I'll tell another one real quick. But this is kind of person he was, and he was, you know, I hate to say he was a good guy, but I mean, he was an all right guy. He just had some crazy past.
Yeah.
When we knew him anyway. So he said, so another time when and this was before, you know, this was, I don't know exactly how old he was. I think he was not 18 and something like this. He said they used to walk all over the place. Back then in Knoxville, it was, you know, not near as crowded and populated as it is now. Not as many cars on the roads and stuff like that. Well, they didn't have no money, you know. And he said he had a cousin one time who was going to walk, like, I don't know, a long way to go to somebody's house. And I think it was like his aunt's house or something. I don't know. And he said, we're just sitting around not doing anything. And he said, you want to go with us? You know, yeah, how you going to get it? He said, we just started walking. He said, we walked so far, and he's carrying a trash bag the whole time. The cousin is, and he thinks, since he's going over he thinks he's taking like some clothes with him or something. Mm-hmm. So they start walking, and they walk so far, well, they get tired. And now here's the mindset these people had. So what do they do when they get tired? They don't sit down and rest. They don't go in a store and get something to drink and, you know, take it easy. They just steal a car. Because they're tired of walking.
Wow.
So they just steal a car, take a car, and they drive this car as far as it'll go till it runs out of gas. So then they steal another car so they can keep going. Yeah.
He's a good guy, though.
It runs out of gas. So then they start walking just through woods, like as a crow would fly, you know, in a direction to get to this house. And he gets all the way there. Now, in this short amount of time, in this day-long trip, I guess, they had stolen 2 vehicles, right? So that's felony charges right there.
Absolutely.
The trash bag they've been hauling around, completely full of weed. Completely packed full of pot. Didn't realize that till they got to the house. So they sit down, you know, and then
wow.
The aunt was like, you know, we'll cook you, or, you know, he's like, I want a sandwich or something, or he's asking you guys want something to eat? Like, yeah. And then, you know, and they don't have cars or nothing. Well, and he's like, you want a sandwich? He's like, yeah. He's like, well, we ain't got no bread. So like, go down to the store and steal some bread down the road. He says, so here I go, walking again. He said so here's another one. He said it wasn't nothing for us to steal stuff like that. He said, if we wanted steak dinner, he said, you just walk into a supermarket. And he said, we had it planned out perfect. 4 or 5 of us would go in, go different directions, hand stuff off to one another, stuff like that. You just go steal a bunch of steaks and go over here and steal the baked potatoes and go home and cook it. He said, you want a new tent? You just walk into Kmart and walk out with it. I said, Mother, you're crazy, man. He do stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Jeez. Well,
Yeah.
that's pretty wild. I ain't. That's some rough company right there.
I've got more on him.
That's some rough.
I got
company.
more on him. So he said, so he did go to prison.
I couldn't imagine.
He did go to prison. So he caught his wife at the time. He come home from work and caught her with another man. And he shot both of them with a shotgun going out the window.
Gosh.
Shot both of them. Ended up going to prison over that. I think he was in Memphis for 10 years or something. He said while he was in the pen, he said they would get rec time to go out in the yard or whatever. And he said he used to like basketball, and he played basketball. So he's out in the yard on the basketball court playing basketball with a bunch of people. And he said this guy, and he said he was a black dude. He was playing basketball, and I don't know what all different colors and races were mixed in here, but the guy particularly that I'm talking about was a black dude that he said he went up for a rebound. Gary did. He went up for the rebound. It's the guy I know. So he went up for the rebound, and that dude kicked his legs like that. And he said he came down and just landed on his head, And it hurt him. It didn't, give him it might give him a concussion, but he didn't go, to the hospital in there or nothing. But I said, well, golly. I said, what'd you do? He said, I couldn't do nothing. He said, I was playing basketball with, all of his buddies and stuff. He said, they'd have just jumped me and stomped me. He said, I got him back. I said, I can't wait to hear what you did, So he was in laundry. He had laundry detail. So he said, I'm down, and that guy did too. So he knew who he was from doing laundry so long out of a day, that made him do jobs or whatever. He said, I'm standing in there, and as soon as the guard gets out of there, he said, I'm ironing. He said, and as soon as the guard gets out of there, and he had dreads, the dude did, he said, that guard goes out, he said, I turned around, he's right behind me. I turned around, and I grabbed him by his dreads, and I stuck that hard iron in his back, and I just held it there like that right there. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, just nuts, man. And this is one person that I met, Crazy stories. And there's more. There are more, but I'm not going to tell them on this show. I'll tell you that right now. Not going to tell them on this show. So.
That's a lifestyle, that's for sure. That's a different atmosphere.
Yeah. He said, so back to growing up poor, he said that when he was young, he had a really bad car wreck. Too, and somewhere in the midst of all this, he had a terrible car wreck back when roads were still gravel in Knoxville. And he's flying down this road, and he met a car, and it's curvy and stuff, I guess. Well, he leaves the road in the truck because he's flying, he said it should have killed him 10 times, Broke him up all over the place. He had no insurance or nothing like that. Couldn't afford any kind of drugs and pain pills and whatnot, but his aunt worked at UT Hospital, I think, or one of the hospitals or something. And she would bring home morphine to him.
Gosh.
He had like broken ribs, legs, arms, neck, whatever's wrong with him.
I get it, but I'm like...
But he couldn't get it legally. So she would sneak it and bring it home to him. He said he would give himself morphine shots in his tongue. Himself.
Wow.
Yeah, different than we live, that's for sure. We didn't grow up doing none of that crazy stuff.
No, golly.
So you go ahead with one now, and let's we'll get back.
I ain't gonna top none of them. So
well, we'll just talk about us then.
Oh wow. I think I've got a few. That one of my personal, which you wouldn't. I hadn't even told many people about this. I may have told you. So when I had a...
Everybody's gonna know now.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
So I mean, there's a few people that know. I mean, but I just haven't broadcasted it. So, anyways, you remember that old Porsche I used to have, 944 Porsche I had,
The one we
the gold one?
changed transmission on in your dad's garage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you wasn't with me that night, so I blew the clutch out of it.
Oh, that was right. We was putting a clutch in it, wasn't we?
Well, I blew the transmission out too. I've done both. I blew the clutch and the transmission out.
I remember moral support, whatever
Yeah.
night that was.
Oh, yeah, well,
Matt's dad was offering us moral support.
no, that was my uncle.
Oh, it was your uncle. That's
Boy,
right.
You
That's
don't
right.
remember nothing, do you? He don't remember nothing. So anyway, yeah, it was my old uncle. So we that I don't know, but y'all wasn't there. I finished putting the clutch in the Porsche. I want to go test drive it. All right, I'm gonna go test drive it. So I get it out of the garage down there where we worked on everything, and I go out through there and start going through the gears. I'm going down my road out through there, and I go across major the intersection there at Sticky and 72. Go across heading towards Sticky School. Go heading towards Sticky School. Go down there almost to where road Y is at right there. Turn around right. I can't remember the guy's name. Turned around out here in his driveway, and I go back across. And I thought, I'm going to see if the clutch holds up really good. So I go out through there, and I rev the car up. I mean, I just put a brand new clutch in. This is not how you see the clutch in anyways. And I go in there, and I rev it up, and I peel out all the way 2 black marks, right across 72. Shoo, right across 72 I go.
Which way are you headed?
Now I'm going back towards my house.
Okay.
I'm going
Okay.
back towards my house
Yeah.
now. I've just turned around.
Yeah.
Going back towards my house, go across 72, and I rip around the curve,
Yeah.
and I get up on top of the hill,
Yeah.
and I look to my left, and I see blue lights. I see blue lights.
Like down at the gas station?
The gas
Okay,
station,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Because they sit down there. I didn't think anything about it, though.
Yeah.
They sit down there all the time, and this
Yeah.
was like 2007.
I think I remember this story. I think you did tell me. I think
2007 or 2008,
Okay.
maybe somewhere in there.
Yeah.
That's when I had that car, and I thought, oh gosh. And this is when they had Crown Vics, and that car, that Porsche was not that fast. It did handle well, but it wasn't that fast. It was just a 4-cylinder.
Yeah.
But and I thought, oh gosh, 2 of them back to back. Here they go. So I'm like, I've got them by half a mile. And I can outdrive. I think I can thinking back then, I could outdrive the cops. Whether I could or I couldn't, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I take off as hard as I can go. Go past Ollie's house.
Yep.
Go ripping down through there, and I run. There's a hill right there before
Yep.
it gets down to the
Stop sign.
Stop sign. I don't ever let up. I mean, I probably took that right probably 40 miles an hour.
You shouldn't take it more than 10. If you,
Yeah.
You're supposed to stop. You should stop.
Yeah. So I hang to the right, take off past the.
And the cops fly by your house, don't they?
Yeah.
I remember this story,
So
but
this
you're
is a long time ago.
How do I remember this? And I don't remember things that happened to me.
I don't know.
What the crap?
So I go ripping down through there on Von Orr, and I go ripping down through there on Von Orr Road, and they had that new bed and breakfast for dogs, the kennel on the right, of the white picket fence.
Oh,
going through
yeah,
there,
yeah.
Going towards Valley View. Go ripping down through there, and about the time I'm to Valley View, I look back, and they're coming across the hill. So I've got a good
that you just
that I just come across and shot across. So
Okay.
they're coming across those hills, and I see them, and I never let up. I'm ripping. I mean, I'm flying out through there. I go across. I'm probably running 100, 110 out through there, and I'm just dumb. Looking back, I was just super stupid. There's a big hard left right there at the church, and I flip my lights off to see if anything's coming around the curve, because I'm running 110 miles an hour, 100, 110, and I go to the inside, so
Yeah.
I go into the suicide lane hard as I can. I turn my lights off, make sure there wasn't nothing coming back towards me.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that person wasn't doing the same thing on the other side, or I'd been dead today. But anyways, I go rip around that curve, and I get all the way to my driveway, and I don't see them yet, but I turn my lights off, and right there in front of my mom and dad's house, I cram on the brakes. Don't lock them up, but I mean to the point to where they're almost locked up, and I go, screeching, and my mom's driveway's got, mom and dad's driveway's got an in and an out, and I go in the out. I jump through the out. I slam on the brakes. I dip behind the house really quick. shut the car off, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm just shaking. I'm just,
Yeah.
I mean, my adrenaline's pumping, and I get out of the car, and I look off in the field over there, and I see like a remnants of blue lights. I don't see the cars, and I hear sirens, but I see blue lights coming. So I walk around beside Mom and Dad's house right there, and there's the HVAC unit, and I just stand there. And then both of them just go ripping by the house. And at this point, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just shaking.
You've done it.
Yeah. I walk in the door at my house. My mom meets me at the front door. Was they after you? No, I don't know. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
You lied to your mama.
Yeah.
You lied to your mama.
She said, yes, they was. And I said, no, they wasn't. I don't know. I don't have any idea. She said, I seen you. I was in the kitchen window when you come in. So she was in the window looking outside.
Yeah.
When I come blowing into the house, She said, I'm calling them. I
was fixing to say, my mama would be like, well, we'll just find out if they're looking for you.
She said, I'm calling them. I said, no, don't do that. She said, so it was you. I said, no, but don't call them. Don't call them. It wasn't me. She knew it was me.
Yeah.
And that was a lesson that, she said, you ever do anything like that? I don't think I ever, I never run from the cops again, but of course, still after that, I still done dumb stuff, but I did not run from the cops anymore.
So I ran from the cops once. I don't know if I've told you
Really?
this.
I did not know that. What in the world did you have that you run from the cops?
I was in my F-250.
Oh, okay. I could get that.
So me and Chase had got off work when we worked at Lawrence City. Mm-hmm. And we were headed home. There would be, if you passed Sugar Limb headed towards Loudon, there would be 2 undercover cops
Under the bridge
right there.
Oh, yeah.
Always used to be there. Always. And I think black and white Dodge Chargers, unmarked. Well, later I found out that those were drug cars, like drug traffic cars.
Okay.
That's all they were doing there. They wasn't even after people speeding or nothing else. Of course, somebody blows by you at 100 miles an hour, they're probably going to pull you over.
Pull you over. They have that right.
So we were headed home one day, and back then, so everybody knows, we had, you didn't, but some of us had souped up diesel trucks and
I had a fast truck.
Blew all kinds of black smoke and acted stupid and loud, So anyway, we're headed home one day, and
we love Need for Speed. Say that.
Chase had a Dodge. Mm-hmm. It was a
06.
Yeah, it was a crew cab Dodge truck.
Yeah.
I have still an F-250 7.3 truck, and then there was another. It's a Chevrolet or a Dodge on the way home or something. Now, when I was young and dumb, I put a bunch of money into that truck. A bunch. I did a lot of things a lot of people wouldn't do on them trucks. It wasn't just programmed, so I had all kinds of other money into it. So it was faster and, more powerful than most of them. Or than any of them around here, unless you sunk. Yeah. Unless you were dumber than me, you didn't have one faster than me, not the same kind.
It was fast, absolutely.
So, anyway, we're headed home, and me and him are just driving home like we do every day, and here comes this Dodge truck, pulls up beside us, and he's doing all this crap, and we're coming up, we're kind of on that straightaway where it kind of goes downhill, back over here, and then Sugar Limb exits, okay? We go down through there, and we're moving. I don't know how fast we're going. My truck stopped at 100. I don't know. I don't know how fast we're going. But we're going pretty fast down through there, and Chase is in front of me. That Dodge truck's here, and we're just tearing down through there. And I remember Chase telling me, I'm going to let Bo have him. And he used to always get off at Sugar Limb, and I go on loud. Well, he exits, right? So I just... and I just put it to the floor, and I get up there beside this guy, and we hit that hill where it starts back downhill and you can see, and I had a feeling, like every day, I was so stupid to even think maybe they're not there, but I had a feeling, and I mean, I was looking. I don't know what tag this guy had, or, if he was local or anything else. I can't remember that. But we topped that hill, and I can't remember what we were. If I was like at 100 or 95 or way over the speed limit. Back then it was 65 through there, I think. But we're going way too dang fast. And if they seen me speeding, if they was to pull a radar out, which they probably knew what we were doing anyway, but if they was to have, I don't feel
It
like
was hot back then. Diesel, it was a thing back then.
I don't feel like they would have seen me going more than maybe 90 or 85 or something. Because when we topped that hill and I could just catch a glimpse, because I was looking,
Right.
I saw them, and we were in it,
Right.
you know, gaining speed. And I let off. I lifted as soon as I seen him, and he didn't.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, he didn't. So when I let off, you know, we're coming down that hill this way, and the bridge is over here. So they're sitting there. They see two noses, two trucks coming. And as soon as I seen him, I lift, and he immediately jumps me. So when he does that, he's blocking me then. Man, I laid on my brakes. Just, you know, I stood on them things and just nosedived, you know, and probably went from 95 to 85 real quick, you know, and he jumps out in front of me a long way, you know, and then when he does that, you know, of course, I'm just getting back in it, cruising again. Them lights come on both of them cars, blue lights, their headlights kick on, and they start easing through the dirt and the grass, and you know they're
coming out.
They're having to come across that, right? So this dude, and he's not in front of me. He's just out this way in front of me. He's not in my lane, right? I act like nothing's going on. Right. I just right on by him. He's all over his brakes, you know. And at that time, I pass him because I'm trying to act like I wasn't.
Innocent. You're innocent.
I'm trying to act like I wasn't doing nothing, right? So I look, and I go right on past the bridge, and I just keep going. And I look in my rearview mirror, and he's pulling over on the side of the road, and they're trying to get pulled out in traffic. And I waited until I just got to the top of the hill, and they faded out in my mirror where I couldn't see them. And the moment I got on that flat side on the other side, back to the floor I went. Because I couldn't get on it up through there. They'd see a bunch of black smoke, know I'm running, right? So I just hammered down.
Down to
And I ran as fast as that truck would go to Loudon. I did. I mean, I flew. Now, when I got off, I didn't go to the house like I normally do. I went right, took Jim Dyke Road, wound way back through there, came out in Philadelphia, and then went home.
Oh, God.
And I never done it again. Never done it again. I got pulled over, but I didn't run. But that's I ran that night, or that day.
That's pretty good.
I ran that day. But that's my running story.
Well, talking about
Now my brother, he ran a ton on
I'm
bikes
sure.
and stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Hey, I remember when he ran home, or ran from the cops coming home. He pulled over across from the Chapman's house in there, and he was in he had a Toyota Tacoma 4-cylinder. I remember the story. Brad.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Okay, he arrested him, but when they arrested him, they said my brother was hollering. He had cuffs behind him. What the thing got in it? I got a 4-cylinder. You couldn't even catch me, you know. Just
That is your brother.
oh yeah.
My
I watched the
God.
cops pull him over one night. I was at my house where I live now, and I'm staying. I probably didn't tell you this story. I may have, but this is probably a good time span when you're opening this store and busy, and I'm busy working, so we wasn't talking a ton.
So it was okay.
Yeah, our busier lives. We were. I was at the house, and I'm just, I don't know, carrying in groceries. It's like the middle of the day. It's like 2:00 in the afternoon, and it's just a day I'm off work and at home. I can't remember if I just got home or what, but I'm in my carport, and I hear, you know, just a crotch rocket. I mean, somebody giving it everything they got, just you know, far away, and you can hear loud vehicles and stuff like that down Fort Creek when they're coming. And I went, you know, I stopped and I went, my gosh, man, somebody's giving it heck, you know. And then I hear,
Getting louder.
you know, well, not then. You can hear them a long way off, you know. But I'm like, my gosh, whoever that is absolutely flying, you know. And for some reason, I never imagined it would be my brother. I don't know why.
I was going to say, why did you not?
I don't know why, but I didn't.
Okay.
By the way, my brother got killed
Unfortunately.
flying down the interstate at night in a
That's very sad.
convertible Camaro
Z28.
with his kids.
Yeah.
Now his kids didn't, but he did. But anyway, so he, I don't know if he just didn't have a conscience or what, but he rode around like he did, and he thought he was invincible. Yeah. But so anyway, I'm standing there, and so I stop and I kind of listen because I heard sirens. I'm like, somebody might be running, It's kind of what I thought. Well, sure enough, it kind of gets louder, and because when you come off of Fort Creek on the Callaway, it gets quiet when they get down there in that hole. But then when you come back up the top of the hill, before you come down to my house, it gets a whole lot louder coming up that hill, So I'm sitting there listening, kind of got quiet again, quieter, and I can still hear it. But then it got real loud coming up that hill, and I'm like, okay, well, if it's come down this road, And to this day, and I kid you not, he comes by on this bike. I mean, I'm sitting there, and it's just, flies by the house. I mean, I don't know how fast he could have been going, but here's
how did you know it was him?
Well, because
the bike?
He goes up and he turns in my mom's driveway, shuts the bike off, and puts kickstand up and gets off of it.
Oh, he's coming Callaway from Philadelphia.
From Fort Creek. Yeah,
Philadelphia side. Okay.
So he goes past our house, all he's got. All he's got. I mean, well, to me, all I would have, a whole lot more than I do.
Yeah.
Anyway, he just, and when he passes my house, he just, gearing down, and he turns into the house, into my mom's driveway. I don't know, 30 feet, 20 feet, stops, shuts it off, puts kickstand down, gets off, and he stands there with his helmet on. His mentality is, I'm on my own property. That's what he's thinking.
Gosh, yeah.
That's what he's thinking. So I see him go by. I'm like, my gosh, that's my brother. When he pulls in up there. And then I hear the sirens coming. That guy in the cop car, I don't know who it was going so fast that when he passed me, I couldn't hear the sirens.
Golly.
It was like, I could hear woo coming, and it was like, when he went by me, I mean, flying. Like, I've never seen a car go by there that fast.
Gosh.
And, I mean, he was flying. He pulled in there, jerked maybe my brother's still sitting on the bike, but jerked him off of it and put him in handcuffs and all that. So that's 2 times. And I think I think they let him go. I'm pretty sure. Because I think another cop car came. I was just like looking up there. I went in the house, like whatever, man. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's his.
Wow.
Yeah. And
you remember when me and you were street racing?
Yeah, we got caught that night. We
got caught. Yeah,
we didn't run.
We did get caught.
There wasn't no running from that.
Well, you don't know how close I was.
Well, you said that.
I was within a fraction of running.
They wouldn't have just sat there with me.
Well,
there was 2 of them.
No, and they were troopers. One of them was a trooper.
No.
One of them was a county. Absolutely was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
I promise you,
it wasn't either.
It was one county and one trooper. It was.
It was a county cop, and then one in a black unmarked.
Yep. The trooper was the one that actually called us in. He told us that. He told us that they were sitting up underneath the bridge.
No, I worried about that. It was the Mexicans that lived down at the mailbox because Bill Lee threw gravel on the house.
But what he told us was, I do remember that.
Yeah, that's what got the call in because the unmarked guy was our customer.
He told us that the trooper didn't want to come up and deal with us because he would take us to jail. The trooper can't. That's what the county guys told us.
Yeah.
That's what he told us. He said if the
Who am I to argue with you? I don't remember nothing. Remember?
You don't remember much. I remember this because I'm like, well, I'm really glad that.
Well, tell a story. Tell a story.
So, anyways, we down in Loudon, we used to have this spot called the Mailbox. Everybody knows the mail. Most everybody that has anything to do with racing or a fast vehicle, where the mailbox is at. And Bo's got a fast truck, and it was just a S10, little work to it, nothing much. But anyway, everybody go down there and run their trucks and see what speed you could get going across the mailbox.
Yeah, or race to the mailbox.
Race to the mailbox, yeah, absolutely. But everybody knew their speed, what you could get to the mailbox. That was the thing. Like if you go run down by yourself, you could see how fast you'd get to the mailbox. and you'd go across this bridge, the interstate bridge, and take off. As soon as your tires hit the bridge, you take off and go to the mailbox. And everybody would stand down at, was it a barn? Mm-hmm. There's the barn down there on the right side of it.
It's like a house and a barn
And even looking back at that today, I think about that. I'm like, we used to just stand right there on the side of the road from here to the camera and watch a car go by us at 120 miles an hour like it was nothing. Today I'd be like, I'm getting back.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah, we were so dumb, man.
But anyways, so I think I'd aggravated you a bunch anyways about us racing.
Oh yeah.
I'd always, my little S10, I probably outrun you, yada yada. So anyways, we had already made, I don't know how many, 3 or 4 pulls.
I think
I'm not even going to ask you. Probably don't remember.
No, so here's what I think happened. Okay.
We'd already made a couple pulls before.
You correct me, and I'll tell my version of the beginning of that story. Okay. So you would, if you was coming from the mailbox way, you would cross the bridge back, and there was a road on your right. As soon as you would go across,
turn around right there.
Well, most everybody's down there racing diesel trucks. Well, you could either turn around there if you wanted to. Usually, though, that wasn't, like for me, that wasn't close enough because we would roll from like a 25-mile-an-hour roll or something. So I wanted more. I had straight shift, so I wanted to shift gears and get kind of ready to launch and boost and all that stuff. So you could either turn right there and just back up, turn around, but then you had to get going quick. Or you could go on up a little ways and turn around at this little concrete spot that was cut out where the fence was. And that's usually where I always turned around at if I was down there doing something. Because I was always afraid cops would sit there. Because it's dark, there's no street lights, it's back roads. So I would always turn around there. So we go across one time, I go up there and turn around, Matt turns around on that road right there, and here we go. Take off. And I think the first time we took off, like you didn't have your chip on or something.
I can't remember.
So we ran again. So we go back, do the same thing again. This time I miss a gear.
Which is that was really dumb of me because I thought that chip done something, but it really didn't do anything. And looking back at it now, there was nothing really it could do except maybe change my shift points to another 200 RPMs. I mean, it was really nothing. You know what I mean? It wasn't anything.
Well, I didn't know.
But,
you said, I think you said, I didn't have my chip on.
It may have been something like that.
Well, so we said, all right, well, let's go again. Well, the next time I miss a gear, and it's real easy to tell when that happens. So here we go. We turn around again. Well, now at this point, we've ran twice at least. You may be right. Maybe we've done more.
We've done it 2 or 3 times, regardless. Yeah.
So the next time, I'm worried. I'm like, okay, I know troopers sit down there,
So that was never even a thought in my mind.
Well,
I never even thought about it.
So on up the road, past that concrete pull-off.
We had people sitting down there. We had one guy sitting on the road, but it wasn't a cop. It was somebody actually with a light down there that was telling us if a car was coming.
No, you can't see over the bridge. No.
No. I'm talking about on the other end where we were turning around at. There was a guy down there that was sitting in the car where we would turn right at. He was sitting right there supposedly watching for us.
Oh, okay. Well, they didn't come that way anyway.
No, I know that.
So it didn't matter.
Yeah.
So because I was scared of, dang, they're probably, working on coming up there from the interstate. I'm like, we can't be here much longer. What if they're hanging out? There's a substation on up the road, like on up further. And then from there, there's nowhere else except driveways and other roads and stuff. So I went on up there because I'm like, they could be sitting up there with their lights off watching, you know what I mean? So I went all the way up through there. My light's shining. I had HIDs, so they're bright, and I don't see nothing. I turn around way up there and I'm like, all right, let's go again, and we get up there and we do our roll.
Yeah, we're rolling.
We're rolling together. We hit the bridge and we launch. We take off. We let off the brakes. And I don't remember if I made it to my next gear or if I was between them.
We were about 50-ish is what we were running. 40 to 50 miles an hour, somewhere right in there.
We had just launched.
We just hit. I know, we just hit.
Launched.
And then immediately blue lights.
Everywhere. Yeah. Everywhere. I mean, behind us.
Did you ever see? I remember because I think did I pull in front of you?
You pulled in front of me and tried to get out.
Well, I know, but I'm scared to death. That's the first time I've ever been pulled over.
I knew better than that.
And the only time I've ever been pulled over.
I knew better than that.
That's the first and only time I've ever been pulled over.
Well,
But yes, I just wasn't thinking. I don't know. I was going to get out. He's like, get back in your car. I was like, all right.
yeah, I'm sitting there going, I said, no, what are you doing? You know, when you get out, he's like, get in the car, get back in your car. I'm like, you freaking idiot.
Well, I see, I had already contemplated that I was going to run.
Yeah.
So I was already on a different level, you know. I mean, there's a big long straightaway.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that straightaway is long, but if I was, this is terrible to say, but if I was in a familiar area, I had no idea. Like past that mailbox, I had no idea. I knew back that way, but I didn't know past that mailbox. Had no idea where to go, where it was going to come out at. I would have run if I would have been more familiar. I just would. I would have.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. But was super nice.
Blue lights everywhere.
Yeah, blue. Yeah.
The first thought in my mind.
Well, I thought I was going to jail immediately.
Well, the first thought in my mind is I knew I was in big trouble because this is a state trooper. Is what I thought, and it was not. It was. Here's my version.
Okay, go ahead.
It was.
Go ahead.
I could tell you. I can see his face right now. I know exactly who he was.
They told us that we were sitting under. They told us we were sitting under the bridge. Is what he told us.
The troopers were, and they didn't want to fool with us.
They didn't want to come.
Okay,
so they radioed county to come fool with us because.
But we both agree now that there wasn't state troopers that pulled us over. They had called in.
They had called.
Okay,
yes,
fair enough.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
So, but it was an unmarked drug car who was doing drug surveillance on some kind of drug house in Philadelphia that got the call. So they were pissed off at us because they had to bust up their operation to come out and deal with a bunch of kids acting stupid. So, but they pull up, blue lights everywhere. We pull over. Matt pulls in front of me. He gets out of the truck like a dummy. And they're like, get back in. So you get back in. And they came up and they got our driver's license and got us out of the car and put us behind the squad car. And made us put our hands behind our backs and all that stuff. And
they didn't cuff us or nothing.
I remember, but we had to stand there with our hands behind our back.
They said put your hands behind
And
your
I
back.
remember standing there like, man, I can't even talk with all these lights in my face. That's what I'm thinking.
I thought we was going to jail.
Well,
see here again, I'm 18 years old. I'm not a juvenile.
Yeah, you're 18, and he mentions that.
Yeah,
to us.
I know he does. Yeah,
but
yeah, he told his exact. I can remember it just as plain as day.
I can too.
He said, and he called us. He got our driver's license and everything. I don't even think he got our insurance.
No, he did.
He just got our driver's license, and he said.
He looks at the cards. He's got us both behind the squad. They finally raise the trunk.
Yeah.
When they raise the trunk, we can all, I can breathe again. Like, those lights are just killing me. You put me in a room, turn them lights on, and I'm going to die. It was awful. But they flipped that trunk up, and I remember, it was like, and then just, you could see. And I was like, oh, thank God. And he got our license.
He radioed us in and gave them all the information and everything. I thought, oh, my gosh. And my thought, I'm going to jail. Because I'm pretty sure I was in the suicide lane then, right?
You was.
I was in the suicide
100%.
lane. I was in the suicide lane, and I'm like, dude, I'm in the suicide lane. I'm like the worst possible case right now. It's happening to me. And so he gave us we gave him his license, and he radios, and we're clear. They said there's no history, there's nothing, nothing ever. We've never done nothing. And I could tell his face went from like serious to like, okay, they're just out here having. It was just like this. I could see his whole demeanor just changed. Went from like, I'm really pissed to like, okay, these dudes are just out here having fun, and they've got caught. We've not never even been pulled over ever. We got a clean record. And I remember him telling me, he said, I think he called you Mr. Bradshaw. I believe, but anyways, it doesn't matter. He said, Mr. Bradshaw, he said, you'd go down to
juvenile.
Juvie, yep.
Mm-hmm. I was 17.
And he said, Mr. Russell, he said, you'd go to jail, and you're going to lose your license, and you're not going to drive till you're 21. Mm-hmm. I thought, oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Impound the trucks.
Yeah, to haul the trucks off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I was like, oh, my gosh, And I was in a bad way. Then still in my mind, I'm like, I should have ran. I just should have ran. I'd have figured it out. That's what I'm thinking the whole time.
I remember what he said to me or what he said to us and me, but he looked at me and he goes, why do I know you? Have I dealt with you before, is what he said. Mm-hmm. Have I pulled you over before? Have I dealt with you before? And I said, no, sir. No, sir, you haven't. I've never been pulled over before. And he said, why do I know you then? What, have I dealt with something with you before? I said, no, sir. I said, I just put tires on this car at work for you. When you came to pick it up, I was in the office, He said, you work for them? I said, yeah. He said, well, okay. And you wasn't working there at the time, or if you was, you wasn't at that store.
I was
regardless.
I was not. I was at the cabinet shop then.
So, but yeah, I said, no, sir, I just put tires on this car for you. How they doing, or whatever. And I think that maybe he already had his mind made up. He's gonna let us go, but I think that helped.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. It did, absolutely. I'm sure.
And he said, you work for me? Yeah, blah blah blah. He goes, well, what are you boys doing? I was like, just being stupid. There's no excuse. We're just being stupid. He goes, yeah, y'all are. He goes, I'm down here in Philadelphia trying to bust a drug house.
I remember
I'm getting a call that gravel's getting sung on a house, and I'm down here dealing with you two. I'm trying to do real stuff down here, and I got to come deal with you guys. That's why he was mad. And then he goes, do y'all not know what you're doing? He said, you're supposed to have a cop up the road, or a guy up the road down there, a guy down the road down there saying, all right, the coast is clear, or here comes the GD and cops. I remember him saying that to us.
Do you remember?
And I knew when he said that, I'm like, I'm getting out of this. I'm going to get out of it.
Yeah.
But
that was the breaking point when he said that. He was like, you guys are stupid. You need to do it. He said, have somebody down here and have somebody down here, and you have walkie-talkies or something that indicates that everything's okay. And I remember him saying, and do you remember him like ragging your truck? Do you remember him ragging your truck?
I don't know. No.
He said, why is that little S10 all over you? He was aggravating you, And then it kind of made me, back then, offended me, like, well, I've got a fast truck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, that little S10's all up your butt because you could outrun me. And he's like, that little S10's all up your butt. And I was like, well, you want to run or something like that? And he's like, that thing would blow your doors off. And I was like, I don't think, this is when his demeanor had changed.
Yeah.
And looking back, I was like, God, what an idiot I was.
Yeah, he's like, y'all need to go home. You remember looking down? I remember looking down over
like
that.
A bunch of ants.
Yes, yes. All of our buddies down there in 2 or 3 trucks.
All our buddies just.
They're literally diving in the bed of the trucks, and the lights are coming on. Trucks are pulling out.
One of the cops went back down there. One of the cops went around and went down there to go talk to everybody.
Probably.
And telling everybody, because I remember Dustin and Bill and everybody was down there, and they were like, you guys, you go to jail too, but for just being an association.
Spectators.
Yeah, you're being association with the illegal drag race, and everybody got a little lesson. There's a few of them that actually left.
Yeah, the Hagler's gone. Them boys gone. Yeah, they just left us. They left me and Matt out for the wolves. But
we see who our friends are.
So I've heard since then, and I don't know if this is true or not, but supposedly for like a drag racing crime to hold up in court, the police are actually supposed to have like some witness, whether it's the officer or somebody. You actually have to see someone at the start and finish line, like, flagging and,
right.
Supposedly for it to hold up in court. That's what I was told. Yeah. I don't know if that's a fact because Ward got the same thing happened to him up in Bowling Green, and they took his license. So I don't think anybody's out there like, so I don't know. Maybe that's not true, but I heard that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Luckily we got lucky that night.
We did. They let us off and told us how dumb we was and how to do it. He said, if you guys are going to do it, this is how you need to do it. So that was really nice.
Now, I don't think that I might have went down there one more time.
I don't think I ever.
That broke me.
Now I did. Going out towards.
No, I know I went back because that was way early on.
I went
back.
What's the road out towards Charlie Hall's? Big old long straight out past. That used to be the one to go. Oh yeah, there you go. That used to be the one to go to after all that happened.
Well, you used to go behind McDonald's. That's where everybody used to go.
Yeah, that didn't last long.
Yeah, that was so stupid. People going back. I'm like, why are y'all doing it there? But what it was people who lived in, like anybody who wasn't associated with Diesel Den back then. Mm-hmm. Maybe you get some out there. We did. We used to get some of them out there to run with us. But if you wanted to race somebody that didn't really have any kind of, if you wasn't called out down there to go race or something, you'd go back there. Spot. That's where Chase broke his truck so bad, and then he never did it again, I don't think.
Yeah, that was a terrible spot back there. I went back there and I can't remember what I run something back there one time. And I thought this is too tight back here. Oh, I know who I did. Keller and his 24 valve.
Yeah,
and
the old brown one.
and my Golf. He was talking crap about my Golf. But I mean, that was when I had my Golf, my little diesel Golf, all hopped up. I mean, blistered his butt. I mean, bad. And short. There was some people down, which I left and went back down, went to Robinson Park.
Yeah.
Robinson Spring down there. I just went around.
You went left at the end of the road. Yeah.
And went out that way, and by the time they said those people down there watching us, and they said there's cops everywhere, and everybody went back to McDonald's. There's cops at McDonald's, and I went to the house.
So, speaking of, shoot, what did you say?
Do you remember? Are you serious?
No, you said something that triggered a memory. I can't remember what it was.
I don't know, but you don't remember.
I don't remember what part it was.
It was McDonald's, where we used to.
No, not that. I wasn't going to say nothing about that. You said something.
Do you remember McDonald's?
Yeah, when we used to go down there.
That was the hangout.
Yeah, they run us off. Tried to. They come down there and tell us to leave. Oh, speaking of Robinson Springs Park, this guy. Let me tell you about this. I had an old CRX that I used to have. It's a piece of junk. I bought it for like $600, and back then that was a lot of money to me. But anyway, it was a project car. It was really a gas saver for me. Is what I was using it for. But we had it over at Brody's and working on it, doing something. I don't even remember what it was.
Axles in it.
Axles, maybe tie rods or something. I don't know. But we worked on it.
We were putting the front end on it.
And it was probably a Thursday night. We used to play basketball every Thursday night down there at Robinson Springs till the cops would run us off because they had to lock the gates.
Lock a gate and turn the lights off.
Yeah. And we was trying to make it down there, so we rushed home back to Brody's house after work and fix this thing and take off down there. I'll meet you down there. I'll pull in the parking lot of this place. And this thing is driving like crap all the way there. I mean, I'm like, what is wrong with this
I don't know how it was just my fault.
This thing is bad because you put the wheels on it.
I don't know.
Anyway,
how
I get down there and freaking wheels about to fall off.
It didn't, did it?
No, I made it.
Luckily, you went from Brody's house and not your house, or it would have fell off.
But yeah, that was speaking of that park, that's one thing that happened. It was crazy.
We had some good adventures, that's for sure. The time do you remember when, I don't know if this was all the same night this all happened, but do you remember when we went up to Wild Wings? This went up in Farragut, and do you remember Brody getting, we all got a Braveheart?
Right, yeah, we ordered up.
Do you remember Brody got it all over him?
He wiped his eyes and got in his eyes.
He got this stuff all over him.
The hottest wing you could get there.
Yeah,
that's what
it was one of the hottest wings.
And
you had to sign a waiver. You had to sign a waiver to even eat it.
No, I don't think so.
You did.
There was one off that they didn't have on the menu you could get. I think it was called like the Britney Spears or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But maybe we did. I don't believe that's right, but maybe. Well, I mean, I don't know.
Okay. Well, there is, when you eat a wing somewhere, you do have to sign a waiver. But I don't know if it was Wild Wings or not.
Yeah, well,
I have signed a waiver. I don't remember if it was Wild Wings or not.
So Brody can't eat Honey Chipotle chicken crispers without them being too hot for him at Chili's. So this guy gets them. Seriously, I've seen him order ice cream because Honey Chipotle chicken crispers got too hot for him.
Oh my gosh!
Brody don't like heat that much when it comes to food, and but yeah, I mean, I remember, that night and what. But he he's on fire, whining and whatnot, and his eyes are watering, and he wipes his eyes. And when he wipes his eyes, I remember him in the bathroom. All of us went to the bathroom. They wouldn't bring us any drinks. Enough drinks.
Gosh.
We're all on fire.
In the sinks.
We're on fire in the sinks, and they're trying to rinse our mouths out.
Bathroom,
Estes is with us.
Oh, I remember
Estes?
Yeah.
Estes is with us too. We all dive into that bathroom. Brody goes into the like stall for some reason. I don't know. I think he was going to throw up.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw up. Oh my gosh, and he's in there. Miles, I want my eyes. He's whining over his eyes burning now.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, it was. Those are hot wings. And by the way, they opened up like last week. They came back to Farragut.
Where at? Same spot?
Yep. Just came back. They had a grand opening or something, so we got to go.
Oh man.
We got to go. Need to get the band back together.
Oh man, we do. Well, golly, that was That was some good times.
Yeah.
We went there one time and we didn't have a parking spot. It was plumb packed. Do you remember that?
Well, you remember
I went no.
You
I
got
take that
boxed
back.
in.
I got boxed in. That's what it was.
you parked on the side, not in a parking spot, and you got.
But everybody parked, there. But I mean, they parked. I had a 1989 Dodge Omni, red, beautiful little car. I bought it from somebody in Tellico Village.
He hauled like 3 people across the back, 2 in the front in that thing.
And they wasn't just
the
normal
How much
guys.
that car weigh?
I don't know, probably maybe 3,000 pounds.
It weighed 3,000 pounds, and he had.
Yeah, I had half.
1,200
I had
in it.
half of that in it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
you had that much within
So-
people in it.
So we
Big people.
we get in this thing and we get done eating and we go out to get in the car and we can't do nothing. We're talking inches of us trying to get, this is like this, Austin Powers thing. I mean, you ain't getting out, So we had Chad, me, Dustin,
Billy.
you, maybe
I wasn't
Billy.
in there with you. I rode with Brody in his
But
truck.
did you not help us move it?
No, y'all had moved it. We didn't know about it. Y'all had that handled.
Okay.
Because we didn't park where you parked.
So we take this.
we had a
thing-
truck. I was in Brody's truck. You could put that car in the back of it.
Yeah, right.
So I don't
so-
know. We didn't park where you did.
So we
I think
get,
Bill was with y'all, was he not?
We may
I'm
have.
pretty sure it was Bill.
We may have.
That was the
And
crew.
This was summer. Okay, this was the summer. It was summertime, and I told Chad and Dustin and me and Bill, I
I
guess.
think it was.
And I said, let's all get on the back end of this thing, and I think we can just try to scoot it over. Well, I didn't realize how light it was. All of us got on this thing. We literally picked the car up a foot off the ground and just slid it all, because it was so tight. We slid it over, and then we'd scoot over, and we picked it up again, we slid it over, and on the deck out there, the people are going wild watching us.
Drunk out on the
They're
patio.
drunk. Oh, they're hollering, whoa, yeah, and we're hollering back at them. It was the best. I mean, wish we could have got on video. And
Guys picking up a car and moving it.
so I'm sure, and there was probably, 30, 40 people out there, and they're out there drinking their beer and everything, and they're hollering and having a good time watching us. And but we get that thing, we pull it out, and 1,500 pounds of us load up in it. And we got on the interstate, and we're coming back, I guess, to your house. It was coming back to your house because we all got sick. Do you remember that? And did you remember?
No, I don't.
Do you remember at your house?
I remember everybody getting sick, but I thought that was a night after Chili's or something, where all y'all ate the same thing.
Maybe it was chilly.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
maybe a
was.
different
You
night.
got sick,
Okay.
Bill got sick, Dustin got sick, and I didn't. I remember it.
Okay.
Y'all were in and out of that. It's a
Revolving doors.
Yeah, y'all were just in and out of the bathroom up there from my room to the bathroom.
Bill was hollering.
Everybody but me. I remember that.
Bill was he was hollering and about crying. So funny. But anyway, so we get back in this car. We all, we celebrate with those people because we just picked up his car, which was a really cool feeling, by the way. And so it was me, Dustin, Bill, Chad, and I could have swore that maybe it was just them. Because I remember maybe it was just 4 of them. Bill, Dustin, I don't know.
It might have been.
So
It might
anyway,
have
but it's way too much for the car.
been. Yeah.
So we're running down the highway, and we're dumb. I mean, we're stupid. Young teenagers
Interstate.
on the interstate, and we're about Watt Road, and we're ripping. And I'm on a set of, anybody knows anything about tires, I'm on a set of FR 380 Firestones.
That's 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
tire that's
yeah.
been gone forever.
Yeah.
Cheap.
Yeah,
Cheap
the
tires.
cheapest tires you can buy.
It used to.
So there, you and Brody are in his old Ford
Square body
yeah,
F-250.
Yeah, old model, like 96 or something.
No, I think it was a 97. I'm pretty sure.
We're ripping down through there. We're heading towards Watt Road, and I've got this Dodge Omni right up on his rear end, and we're running every bit of 100. I mean, as fast as my
It's 100 and something because his truck would register 100. No, I think it only registered 85.
Yeah, 85. But anyways, I had that thing, and it was sitting on 100. Mine was, and I had it to the floor. It would not do nothing else. But I had 1,000 pounds in the car, and I had it pegged to the floor, and I'm right on the back of his bumper, and just luckily, because it could, I mean, that thing would have killed one of us if it come through the windshield. He's got a license plate that comes up out of the back of bed of his truck, and I see it just as pretty as you please go over the top of us. I don't know if it glances off the car or not. I don't even know if it hits my car. I don't think it does, but it looks like it's coming right for my windshield, and it just picks itself up and goes right over the car.
Yeah, I remember that.
And we're running 100 miles an hour down the interstate. If it hit us, it killed us. But anyway, so we get back to your house or Brody's or somebody's, and we pull in, and these FR 380s had left the chat. They were gone.
I had peeled.
They had peeled off. Tread was gone. Why? There's no tread on one of them. It's on the rear.
You freaked out.
I did.
You freaked
I
out.
did.
It
I
bothered you a lot.
It did, because I could have killed everybody, and it would have killed us all. At 100 miles an hour, a car flipping, that little thing, it ain't going to go sideways or skid down the highway. It's flipping like a little, it's going to be like a ball down the highway at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But I got out, and all I had was cord on my tires. Cord. There was no tread. And then, like the other side, it had started peeling, and I don't even remember what I'd done. I think I may have put the spare on it, or
I think you did, and then just took it to work, put tires on it.
but it was good. Golly, we were dumb.
Yeah, but I mean, looking back, that was still safer than a lot of things my brother did.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, we were dumb. We did a lot of dumb stuff.
Looking back, I'd be just thinking about it now. I'm like, I wouldn't even think about half the stuff that we done.
No, not now.
My
Well, you'd probably be in a lot more trouble now too. I mean, just for example, they let us go.
absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
used to.
Yeah, I
used to
did.
we could get by with more.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think they'd let you go for illegal drag racing now. I guarantee that somebody'd give you a ticket somewhere.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't.
But I think we were in that era too, where you had some old head cops. Like most of them were still old heads. They were, they done the same thing we done when we were, they were just out there having fun, drag racing and stuff. But
Yeah. Yeah, we had speaking of cars and having vehicles and all that, Buddy told me one time that he didn't have a car. When he was 17, he never had a car, but he had a buddy that worked at the TA.
Buddy is a guy that I used to work with at the automotive shop that he is the manager at.
Yeah, he's an older guy. He's in his 60s now, but anyway, he said when he was
The
like
best guy the company has, my hands down, I think.
when he was 17 years old, he said that he didn't have a car yet, and I guess maybe he grew up on the, parents didn't buy him stuff like
Well,
that.
yeah,
You know
I'm
what I
sure-
mean? So
sure he grew
back
up a little
back
poor.
then, yeah. So he didn't have a car yet, and he had a buddy that worked at the TA when there used to be one up off of Campbell Station, or not Campbell Station, Cedar Bluff. No. What road is that? Not Cedar Bluff.
What road?
No. Going up.
Lovell?
Lovell. There used to be one across the interstate at
Okay,
Lovell
okay.
from the shop. But it ain't there no more. They shut it down. But it was there like, I don't know. I just seen it. It was gone. So it wasn't that long. Anyway, he had a buddy who used to work there. And he said, I used to hang out up there at that truck stop because he worked there and I didn't have nothing else to do. And he said, I'd hitchhike, to get where he needed to go. And my dad tells me all the time that he used to hitchhike. But Buddy said he's hitchhiking, and he said it got late that night, and he needed to go, get back down to Lenore City. So he sticks his thumb out right there, and his car pulls up, and he just reached down and opens the door, gets in it, and it's a woman that ain't got no clothes on.
Oh my God!
Not a stitch of clothing, nothing.
Wow.
I said,
Okay.
my gosh, buddy. I said, what'd you do? He said, I didn't do nothing, dog. I said,
That's him to a T.
I said, well,
too.
what'd you say to her? He goes, I didn't say a word. I said, she had nowhere to take you. He said, I didn't tell her where I was going. So I told her I was headed west. And so she jumped on the interstate. He goes, I couldn't even tell you what her face looked like. He said, I just sit there like this. He said, I was only 17 years old. He said, I just sit there like that. He said, finally I told her, I said, just let me off here at Watt Road. He said, I was going all the way to Little City. He said, I didn't want to be in a car no more. Now, who can tell a story like that? What's the odds of that happening? That's insane.
Man, that's awesome. I love Buddy. Man, he's great. Like, share, subscribe. You do you. We're going to keep doing us. Leave us a comment. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for hanging out on the second floor.